Hello, hello. I guess I wanted to give some of my thoughts about this game that I actually enjoy playing, but it seems to be a phenomenon that, I'll enjoy a game quite a lot, but the general consensus is that it kind of sucks. Like, a lot of people don't really like it. There's a lot of things wrong with it, but I find it fun. And for me, that game is Rainbow Six Extraction. It came out, I think, in 2022, and Ubisoft tends to have this habit of if they release something in a game, people will really like a new feature that they added, and then they'll be like, oh, let's make a whole standalone game based on that feature. They did this with Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed 3 had this naval battle aspect to it, and people really liked that. So then they made Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and then they just came out with Skull and Bones. But Skull and Bones is not doing too hot right now. And then in Rainbow Six Siege, there was Operation Chimera, where you had like a player versus AI mode, and people really liked that. And then Ubisoft said, "Oh, why don't we make our whole standalone game on that?" And then they came out with Extraction, and Extraction is not too hot either. Um, I think they just missed out on a really key important thing for Extraction, which is that it in no way is related to or connected to Rainbow Six Siege. It still has the same operators and the same mechanics and everything. It probably is very similar to Operation Chimera. I can barely remember it. It was so long ago, but like the gameplay is there. I think it's based off of an old version of Siege, but there is no connection to Rainbow Six Siege. You do get a few cosmetic items. I think they came out for Smoke and a Pulse and maybe a few others, but there is nothing else. Like if you play Extraction, you do not get any renown or any R6 credits to Siege. If there was a system that you did gain like renown for R6 by playing Extraction, I think I think you would have seen a lot more people come back to it. And I think if you didn't have an individual currency for Extraction and just used R6 credits, you would also see an increase of, I don't know, people buying things from the shop, or or just people playing the game. There are Extraction has a lot of really cool cosmetics for the characters, but none of them are in Rainbow Six Siege. They're only in Extraction. They're exclusive to Extraction only. That goes for weapon skins and charms and character cosmetics. Um, like that's it seems like such a waste too. Like you could have all these cool cosmetics for Rainbow Six Siege, but you don't, and it's kind of wasted on this game now. Basically, Extraction does have a lot of other issues, but I feel like the main fix for it would have been just to connect Siege and Extraction into the same kind of server, or just having a similar currency connection. Of course, I don't know what the technical aspect or how difficult that would be, but to transport the Extraction cosmetics to Siege, I mean, you already have them for the characters. That system is essentially the same, where you have character cosmetics and weapon skins and charms and things like that. I can't imagine it would be too difficult. There are some issues with Extraction as a game by itself. I did play through the entire campaign and did all the missions. I can't say I've done every stage on the highest difficulty, but I have no doubt that I would be able to. I think one of the issues of the game is that it's a little bit too easy. It's not as challenging as I think it should be. When you play Extraction, you do have some of the operators from Siege. You don't have all of them, but the majority of them are recommended, at least up until like 2022. I think the latest character is Nomad, if I'm not mistaken. And it's a mix between attackers and defenders as well. But the way extraction works is that you kind of send you play a character and you send them into an incursion, and if that character goes below 50 HP, you have to wait for that character to heal. And I think if you are above 50 HP, it counts as a certain percentage on another character. Let's say, like, okay, I go into an incursion as Ella, and then I drop below. I have like 5 health left out of 100 that it gives you with a boost of 50. And then I play another incursion where I play as Pulse, and I have 60 HP. I believe the system is when you're done the incursion and you extract as Pulse, you'll get like a 10% or a 10 health bonus, which will go to Ella. Because when you're under 50 HP, your character has to heal. You can't take that character into another incursion, which is nice that it encourages you to play different ops and to level different ops. Kind of they all have their own different gear. And you can basically go in with just about anybody onto any incursion. But the operator gets healed like way too quickly. You could probably play one incursion as a different character, and the character that was injured is probably already at full HP. Like, you don't have to wait that long, and it's kind of like too simple, because I would kind of imagine that the difficulty would be increased if you had like 8 operators that were injured. I don't know how many there are. Let's just say there's like 25 that you can play, or like 18. It should encourage you to play operators that you don't really want to play for the sake of you have to play them, because that would add some difficulty, because there are operators that are way better than others. There's obviously that tier list. Like, Ella is probably not one of the best, but let's say she's like A tier. And then somebody like IQ is probably at the bottom because her gadget really isn't that good. But, you shouldn't always be playing the S tier character on an incursion, because then the game gets kind of too easy. You should be playing operators, and you have to level up operators that are more difficult to complete an incursion, especially on higher difficulties with more difficult objectives like the defense objectives, and then with a mutator, which is also something that's really cool, where the parasite mutates and there's like a factor to the incursion that's different, that makes it different from all the rest. The other thing is, if you basically go down, if you die in an incursion, you have to use you basically lose that operator, and you have to take another operator back to the same part of the level, and one of the objectives will always be to rescue them. And I think that's really cool. The issue is that once you rescue them, they're automatically back at full health. Like, you could rescue it off and just use them immediately. Like, there's no healing process. You'd think that, they would be low on HP and you have to wait until, they're fully healed to take them back. But no, like, you can just get another one the next the next level to, you can just take that operator into the next level. It would be cool if it was more difficult. I think maybe it's not as difficult because Ubisoft didn't expect... Oh, I don't know. Because I want to say, like, there are very few people playing Extraction now. I think the average is like 200 people a day, which is really sad because Extraction is actually a really good game. It's made really well. It's fun to play. But there are, like, it feels a little bit too easy, and the multiplayer is kind of scuffed up. Like, I don't know if it was just because there were so few people that I was getting put into different servers where it was kind of laggy, but I'm sure if I had 2 friends to play with, which is nice that you can have a squad of 3 people to jump into a mission with. I'm sure the servers would have been fine for the most part. I mean, I can't say for sure. I don't remember Operation Chimera being that bad, but that was so long ago that I can barely remember when I played it. It's sad to see so much work and effort put into something, and it just kind of like falls dead. And it's for issues that could be fixed. I don't know if they'd be easy to fix, but you could absolutely save Extraction if you just incorporated it more into Rainbow Six Siege. There are so many people that play Siege, especially now with the new season, that you could totally revive Extraction. You don't have to necessarily add more levels. I mean, that would be really nice if they did update it, but because so few people play, like, what's the point? You're going to be, tasking people to fix a game that 200 people play. It'd be extraordinarily difficult to get people back into it or to get people interested. That game should be on sale for like $5, honestly. There's no way I would, like, I did buy the, I was super excited when it was coming out, so I think I did pre-order it, which I really don't mind. I rarely pre-order something, but it's not worth $40. I would never convince anybody to buy it unless it was on sale for like $10, which at one point it was. I think it's on sale right now, as the day that I'm recording. All my friends make fun of me when they see me playing it, because when they see my Discord, it just says playing Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. They don't see the word Extraction. So I'm like, no, I'm actually on Extraction. And then they're, whatever. They come up with all those smart comments. But yeah, I just feel like Extraction has a possibility to be redeemed, but I don't expect that Ubisoft is going to put the effort to change it whatsoever. I think Ubisoft is never going to touch it again. The online events do rotate, so there is kind of a level of freshness to it, but I am so uninterested in playing the multiplayer because of the servers that I might as well just try to get all my characters up to max level. But then by the time you get one of your characters to max, reputation, it's probably gonna get boring, honestly. I mean, you fight the same enemies on the same levels, and the levels don't really add that much. The challenge would be taking like 3 friends into a level 4 map with the highest intensity. Like, that would be fun, but of course nobody plays the game and nobody wants to buy it, so that's basically impossible. My solution would just be to connect it with Siege. You would earn renown in Siege for playing Extraction, and you would incorporate all of the cosmetics into Siege as well. Or you would have to buy them like through Extraction. Like, you could only own them in Siege if you had Extraction. I think people would at least give it another shot, for those reasons, especially if you made Extraction more affordable at a more affordable price. Those are just my thoughts. It's not necessarily what I'm saying is right. That's just kind of how I see the state of the game and the possibility to really, put it back together again, because it seems to have fallen apart, which I assume wasn't Ubisoft's intention. But I've been having a lot of fun on it, and I think that games that are old and kind of dead are worth checking out again, because I think we just assume that because nobody plays them, it's not actually good. But those games do have their issues, but I would always give them another shot. I've been playing it on and off for a little bit, and I did finish it, so I might come back to it later. But it's worth checking out. Yeah, those are just my thoughts, and I'm interested to hear what you have to think about it, whether you've played Extraction or not. And maybe there's a game that you really like, but not a lot of other people play it, or there's a consensus that it's terrible, and yeah, I'd like to hear your arguments to defend it. So yeah, whatever you're playing, I hope you're having fun, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.